So everyone, and I mean everyone, Dak Prescott, Michael Irvin, DeMarvin Overshown, and many others are talking about how head coach Brian Schottenheimer is changing the culture and bringing the energy. I say, so what? Here are three things that are really going to make a difference. Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Mauricio Rodriguez here at A to Z Sports Dallas. This offseason, everyone has been talking about Schottenheimer's energy, Schottenheimer's new culture in Dallas, and I want to get a little bit of a objective look into it and dive into more tangible things that are really going to dictate whether or not he is successful in his first year as head coach. Now, I do want to start off by saying, sure, it all matters, right? If Schottenheimer is indeed changing the culture, then that will show up on game days. It will show up in the regular season and hopefully later in the postseason. It matters that his energy is different at practice. And Michael Irvin praised how he is approaching it. Schottenheimer has talked about bringing that energy so the players also bring that energy into team drills, into team meetings, into just about everything, right? And I do like that, and I'm not trying to neglect any of it with this video right here. But I also do believe that this is that time of the year when we can easily get carried away with this sort of story. And let's be honest, talking about a new culture, talking about revamped energy is very ambiguous. What does that mean, really? It's not a coincidence that when a team is winning, we talk about how the culture is great. And then that same group of coaches, that same group of players starts losing games, and suddenly the culture is a problem. This is exactly why this time of the year, I do wonder about more tangible things. So I wondered, what is really going to make a difference for Brian Schottenheimer as head coach when the games are being played? So that's why I thought of three things that will make an even bigger difference for Schottenheimer in his first year as head coach. Number one on the list, and I will say this is the most important one to me, explosive and varied run concepts. Here's the thing, talent-wise, I feel like the Cowboys are going to be just fine in the passing game. They do have Dak Prescott, who is 2 years removed from an MVP caliber season when he was a runner-up for the award to Lamar Jackson. They have CeeDee Lamb, one of the best wideouts in the game. They have George Pickens. Together, they could be one of the best duos in the entire league. They have a very solid tight end in Jake Ferguson, who is going to be motivated as heck in a contract year. I'm not worried about the passing game that much. I will say, though, it looks like this coaching staff wants to run the football. And about that, yes, I am a little bit concerned because the Cowboys don't have a proven running back one. They have a couple of veterans that haven't ran very well in the last couple of years, and they have a couple of late-round rookies that they're hoping turn out well in their first year in the NFL. And additionally, for many years, we have not seen anything truly special in the Cowboys running game. Even when we have, it's been because of great offensive lines and great running backs like Ezekiel Elliott's early years or DeMarco Murray back in 2014. We haven't seen anything special with the concepts that are being run. This isn't like a Kyle Shanahan type offense or Dan Campbell and the Lions who run the ball in very creative ways. I'm hoping that changes with Schottenheimer as a play caller, and he did bring in Clayton Adams. A little bit of context on Adams very quickly. He was part of an offense that led the NFL in rush attempts with a pulling blocker, and he was part of an offense that ran the second most counter. Clayton Adams will surely want to implement all of that, but that is not going to matter unless Schottenheimer, who is going to be holding the play sheet, who is going to be wearing the headset, talking into Dak Prescott's ears, is calling those plays. That is one of the biggest things that I want to see from Schottenheimer as a play caller. Can he show us that with him in charge of the offense, he can do something different than what he did when he was with the Seattle Seahawks calling the shots under Pete Carroll? Number two, how aggressive will he be in early downs? When he was in Seattle, he ran an offense that was very run first, run first, run first. I want to see that change a little bit because, again, you will have George Pickens, you will have CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott. Use that to your advantage. I want to see how aggressive Schottenheimer is in early downs, and I think that play calling will go a long way. Finally, and this is by far the biggest mystery when it comes to Schottenheimer, because we do have an idea of how he is in other aspects, but this really just don't know. How is he going to be at game management? Every year, we talk about game management blunders from NFL coaches. For Matt Eberflus, that was like the final step in being fired as the Chicago Bears head coach. He ran a good defense. Game management was so bad, he didn't call a timeout once late in the regular season in 2024, and boom, he was fired. We know that Mike McCarthy cost the Cowboys several opportunities at winning games because of him not calling a timeout or him mysteriously calling a timeout. By stepping up from OC to HC, this is going to be Schottenheimer's first year dealing with all of that, and that could win you or lose you some ball games. Let's see which is which. Now, let me know if you agree or disagree if these are going to be bigger difference makers than the energy that Schottenheimer is bringing in practice, which is great. Don't get me wrong. I just want to see more of these tangible things play out.